Greetings. This video is going to be about reading a tape measure. I've got two different tape measures here. This one has no label on it, but it is a 25-foot tape measure. This is a 10-foot tape measure. This is about what you need for this class, is a 10-foot tape measure. I do have some of these for using here at school, but you will need one to use at home because I will send you home to measure some things. Okay, so make sure you get one something like this. Doesn't have to be exactly like this. You can get them something like this at Walmart for relatively cheap. All right, anyway, to read a tape measure, some tape measures have more information than others. And I'll kind of point that out as we go along here. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. And open this tape measure up, and you can see, of course, it is just like reading a ruler in most cases. Part of this tape measure, let's see if we look at this section right here. The everything before 12 inches on this side of 12 inches goes down to the 32nd of an inch, I do believe, and everything on the right goes down to as far as the 16th of an inch. Yes, that is correct. Now, like I told you, we typically don't use 30 seconds in architecture. So you really don't have to worry too much about those. We mainly are concerned with 16th of an inch and larger. A couple of other things you might notice about this tape measure is that right here, you can see it's marked with, you can see it's marked with 10 feet. Where are we at here? 10 feet. That's just to tell you when you pull this thing out that, hey, this is a 10-foot tape measure. Don't try to measure anything further than that, because if you do, especially if you're in a hurry and you pull on this thing really hard, then you will break the tape measure off of the housing. Stretching a little bit further, you see right here it says 12 inches on the bottom. It has a 12, so 10, 11, 12. And then up top it says 1F, which stands for 1 foot. 12 inches obviously is 1 foot. Okay, so all of those are marked as you go along so that you can easily see how many feet you're at. So when you're measuring, you just kind of look for the most recent, black section like this, big black numbers, and you can read how many feet you're on. This particular tape measure also has an added feature of, let's say we're measuring something a little over 1 foot, not 1 feet. But as you see, there's also these other numbers on here in red. Well, this just means 1 foot, 1 inch, 1 foot, 2 inches, 1 foot, 3 inches, okay? Another feature on this tape measure is right here. That 16 stands for or represents the common stud spacing distance of 16 inches on center. So basically the studs that are inside the walls, those are the structural members, and they will be spaced 16 inches apart from center to center. And if you look on the tape measure and you pull it out further, it does the same thing every 16 inches. Okay, so every 16 inches you'll have a red block number indicating where the center of a stud should fall. All right. Now, other things on a tape measure, I think that's about it on this one. Some of them do come with a lot of different information on them, but just, primarily for this task, we just need a really simple tape measure. Now, this tape measure does not have the 32nd inch increments before 12 inches. And it also, instead of having it list 12 inches on the bottom and then 1 foot on top, this one just says 1F or 1 foot. It also has the 16-inch center to center stud marking as well. Okay. And using these tape measures, let me zoom out just a little bit. Like a little button right here on most tape measures that locks the tape. See, if I pull it out, it just pulls it right back. But if I pull it out and then lock it, it'll stay. Okay. Let's see, another thing is the very tip of it. This is used for, gripping onto objects if you're measuring something from one side to the next, and maybe you don't have any help with you. This will definitely help out because it can sort of hook onto something, and then you just pull it out and it measures. Well, that's about all I can think of on a tape measure. If you have any questions, please do ask.